Have we started? Is it going? First stream? First stream ever. This is pretty scary, I have to admit. I've never really talked to myself in any sort of capacity like this. But it means there are people who might listen to me, and that's quite an exciting concept. It's actually terrifying, knowing that there might be someone listening to what I have to say. And the thought of that, like, I might be doing something wrong, or, you know, I'm sort of being a bit cringe. It's always something that's in the back of your mind, you know? Like, it's always gonna be there. Sort of biting in the back of your head. It's sort of something you get used to, I suppose. Like being on stage. You see, I always thought being on stage was something really exciting. I've always liked the idea of being on stage. But I never got used to the fear of being watched. That's the thing I always think. It always gets me, you know? Like, you freeze. But something I've always found is that I'm actually pretty good at speaking to myself. So if I can sort of hone that, find better things to speak about, and then become enough of a speaker that I can sort of not make a career out of it, but hopefully one day make a career out of it, but sort of become something more, you know? That's always something that's been on my mind for a while. Making something of myself. Everyone wants to make something of themselves, or at least I do. Anyway, I've sort of been waffling on for a bit. That's my opening statement, by the way. I hope you enjoy it. Where shall we start? What I'm kind of trying to do... I've been playing this game for a while. I absolutely love this game. I loved Vermintide and Vermintide 2. I absolutely love 40k, and it's... I used to not like it so much, but I love 40k, and it's all the different worlds and all the factions and everything. It's fascinating. And I love melee-based games, and this game just absolutely hits it for me. It hits every single sweet spot. It's gorgeous, for lack of a better word, to be honest. Nothing's ever really hit that itch of melee games. A few of them have. A few of them have. Chivalry is something that's always found really interesting. Chivalry is an absolutely... It's a goofy as hell game. I can tell you that much. But the way they've set up sort of the melee system and how satisfying it is, that's really something that brings the people in. And that is sort of something I've always admired, you know? And there's not really the same sort of satisfaction from a melee game, or rather from a shooter, that you get from a melee game.
War without ammo, especially the good stuff, but we're running low of the latter.
But
turns out the scabs diverted a shipment to the Chasm Station Logistrata, which makes things easier for us. Get inside, secure the landing bay, and load the goods
I'm trying to focus on something.
Then you can leave.
Something that I really need to focus on is, or practice is, going. Like, doing multiple things at once. That's really hard for me. That is really difficult for me. Like playing the game and finding something to talk about at the same time. That's something I need to learn. That is actually fascinating. I hope you like my avatar, by the way. I don't have a proper avatar just yet, but he He's a special boy. He's a good little bean. He's a good substitute for a proper one. Then again, you know, who needs a proper one? Just be a perfectly decent streamer whilst having just a basic one. People, you know, there's a charm to it. I actually quite like it. Right, so we have an ogre in here with a billy club, or the electric one. I'm gonna see if I can make something of myself this match, because I've always, well, I mean, I always try to make something of myself, but. Oh yeah, see, there you go, I've sort of shut up again. When I try to focus, I stop talking entirely. I really need to learn to speak and play at the same time. That's a really good skill to have. There's a gunner up there, he's going to destroy me. There's sniper. Snipers can absolutely destroy. Most of the game overs I've had to this game was from a bloody sniper. Just like that. Or a trapper. Let's see if I can plink him from here. Okay, we can move up. We have some with a bolt gun. That's actually pretty good. Bolt gun, I always used to think bolt gun was pretty bad, but there might have been some significant buffs that made it decent now again. Bolt gun's sort of become a staple. It's an absolute icon of Warhammer. You don't, like, you mention Warhammer 40k and the first thing you think about is either Space Marines and a bolt gun. Mostly together. There's it. Mauler. Gone. It sure is, Ken. Okay. But yeah, I mean, the thing about... There's a demon host somewhere around here. It's probably sitting down there where all the smoke is. It probably is where the smoke is. The thing about Warhammer is that it's become so iconic that just mentioning the one thing will make you sort of... You already know what it's about. Unless you're like a massive nerd about it, which I wouldn't consider myself a nerd. I wouldn't consider myself a massive nerd. What is that? He snuck up on us. But it is very interesting to me. Like I said before, I used to think it was sort of... I didn't used to like it as much as Warhammer Fantasy. Because I thought it was sort of uncondensed, you know. Sort of a bit uncondensed. I thought it was unfocused with all the different worlds and factions and everything, but another good shot. You can still sort of... I don't think it's about that. And even then, you know, Warhammer Fantasy is still big enough that it's varied. It has its own history, has its own lore, it's everything. But I feel like for me personally, it's a bit more condensed. It's a bit more condensed, a bit more focused. Like there's more things to focus on and understand and learn. Whereas 40k is so massive that it just spans about as many Wikipedia pages as it does actual worlds in the game, you know? It's quite scary. It's pretty daunting. Like you've seen so many memes of people telling people where to start and they show them a massive flowchart of what books to read. And it's like, yeah, you know what, I think I'll pass. You just lose interest, but... You know, I've spent enough time listening to lore on YouTube that it's actually pretty interesting. I quite like it. In its own way, it's much more bleak than regular Warhammer is. Warhammer Fantasy is. Warhammer Fantasy is pretty bleak, don't get me wrong, it has its own sort of edginess to it, but it's sort of more traditional fantasy. It's more based on culture and, you know, historical events and things that have happened. Like, you don't think about the events in the series as just things that have happened as lore. You think of it as like a historical event, like an army, like the Battle of So-and-so Pass, or this thing that happened during the End Times. it's sort of scientific in its escapades. Its description. I've always been fascinated with things like Hembrian politics. For Hemri or Nehekara, as it's, you probably know what it is. Because Hemri, I think, is the general state. Whereas Nehekara is the general area, like the desert, you know, based on obviously traditional Egyptian, you know, ancient Egypt. You know, and all the iconography that comes with it. It's absolutely amazing. All the designs of Warhammer are fantastic. Specifically, I mean, particularly in Warhammer, Total War Warhammer. You know, I started with 2. Wow. First stream ever. It's about half an hour, and someone's already offering me not even half an hour. It's been 11 minutes. It feels like it's been forever, to be honest. Feels like it's been forever. When you talk to yourself like this, you lose track of time quite a bit. I imagine that's also something you get used to, because I'm actually quite bad with time management. You know, I've sort of, in a way that I sort of overcompensate for myself. Every time I go up to work, I always make sure on a very particular time, I spend a particular amount of time commuting, and then I spend a particular amount of time waiting around for work to start. But I have to always make sure I get there at least 15 minutes before this work starts, so I have enough time. I'm really good like that. I always overcompensate in order to allow my time, because I sort of had always been bad with time management. But as I've grown up, I've sort of gotten used to it. It's for some people it can be easy, but I feel like personally it was a skill I had to learn, as well as, you know, noting things down or making sure I remember things for later by using a notebook. It's a veritable party down there. Not anymore. But as I was saying, sort of, well, I am waffling on, aren't I? I think another thing that'll be a good idea to learn is learning to waffle on, but in ways that are interesting to people more than myself. You see, I've always found it interesting to sort of talk about the things that I enjoy in a way that I think is, well, I don't even think about it in a way that would be entertaining to myself. It's sort of, the way I think is sort of like, it's like an extended thought process. Like, the way I'm addressing myself and the chat now, through the stream, it's just what's popping up in my head at this moment. I'm constantly thinking ahead what I have to say, what I should be saying, interesting topics, and how to sort of bridge the conversation. Because conversationalism, I think, is a pretty good skill to learn in general, not just for streaming. It's incredibly useful if you're streaming, but, you know, when you're starting to, like, build relationships and, you know, professional relationships and personal ones, whether it's either or, it's always a good idea to learn how to, you know, speak to people, speak clearly, find topics to bridge into whilst you're speaking to them in a way that also interests them and is relevant. You know, you wouldn't just start. I would start as a... Okay, spawn, this shouldn't be too bad. Let's get this done. 1, 2. Buckle my shoe. He's done. Okay, where was he? Conversationalism. Conversationalism is a good skill to have, you know? People appreciate someone who can speak well and can sort of lead into the next topic well. sort of something you appreciate subconsciously. Let's get this one. Where's he not? There he goes. He grabbed him from behind. Okay. This guy needs to stay together. I thought it was something. It was. That bomb was doing my head in. Bombers are another thing that are extremely annoying, especially since they buffed fire quite a bit. You can't recover. Whoa, he got yanked. I didn't think they'd be able to pull them that far. That's quite a strong rope. Be able to pull an Ogren that far. I'm almost out of ammunition. I have been spraying like there's no tomorrow. I have a bad habit of doing that. Bad habit. Some ammunition would not go amiss. Oh, there's one of the Karnak twins. Okay, cool. We're just fucking. Oh goodness, no swearing. We're vibing. We're just full of surprises today, aren't we? And there they go. Once again, easy clap. High fives all around. Let's go.
Ammunition, quickly!
I need ammunition respectfully. There's another ward coming. So you can go ahead. Going ahead is always good. I'm good at running ahead and then getting myself killed, sort of inevitably. I mean, I say that. I'm actually pretty good at staying on the group. Sure, I've found cover, but not for very long. Is that Reaper? Flamer. Quake in this. Okay, now I really do need ammunition. Oh god. Okay, well I guess I'm flying solo right now.
My weapon is empty!
Warhammer is kind of something that I've been sort of coming into. I came into very quickly. Like I started watching. It was Mandalore's video on it and the review that I saw. I just sort of found the world really interesting. The game mechanics not so much, because 4X games, as much as they can be really engaging, I just don't. I end up getting myself a headache more often than not when I play it. I end up playing kind of suboptimally at that point. But the game world and sort of the lore was so interesting, and the designs are incredible. The way that game was designed, and the way the models and the voices, the sound design is absolutely incredible. Like, part of Warhammer as a series, its spectacle is the grandioseness, the absolute ridiculousness of its monsters, its lore, its its people, the things that they've done, and the things that have happened. You know, the end times, which can be pretty controversial. Some people don't like it, and I can understand why. But some incredible things throughout the end times, and it's things that are rightly should be should be written about, because as much as the end times can be pretty bad, they can still be pretty fascinating. They're cool. Things that happen in them are very interesting. They're exciting. They're very grandiose and exaggerated and massive. It's everything that like a grand fantasy should be. If you understand what I'm meaning. The thing about Warhammer, and then you have not Warhammer. World of Warcraft and Warcraft itself. Because Warcraft was I believe it was a strategy game to start up. But the difference between World of Warcraft and Warhammer, personally for me, is that it doesn't feel as grandiose. Warcraft feels a bit plain. a bit too traditional fantasy, you know, high fantasy, with its own, you know, people and things that have done their own things and lore. But although recently they did add like the dragon speeches, and that sort of was a hit for me, but I never liked MMO unless it was a very specific one. The thing about Warhammer and you know, Warhammer and World of Warcraft is that I just don't find Warhammer, World of Warcraft so interesting, like in terms of the design of things and the way things look. Warhammer has sort of that grit that makes designs and monsters and their armor and like the art design for Warhammer is just absolutely incredible. It's so captivating for me personally, especially the way they've sort of created it for Warhammer Fantasy. Like the Empire are based on the Holy Roman Empire, and I would say the Renaissance period. I don't know exactly, but it was around the Renaissance period. You know, they have gunpowder troops. Most of their troops are sort of designed in that sort of Landsknecht sort of design and style. Everyone looks like a Landsknecht. They're all wearing, you know, big poofy hats. They have very angular armor. They use rapiers. They use sort of a special type of shield. But then they build on that by making them more advanced, by making them sort of religiously fanatical towards Sigmar. Which the Holy Roman Empire was pretty. They were pretty fanatical with their religion. Now, they genuinely thought they were a reincarnation of the Roman Empire, and that was sort of a big push for them. It was sort of a big part of their life. But Warhammer turns it up a notch, and they sort of make it even worse in a way, in that they sort of make them obsessed with death. You know, they have more, which I think is it's not the god of death. But more, I think he's like he's like the sort of like their Grim Reaper, in a way. You know, he's like their Grim Reaper. They have entire like specialized knight regiments based on, you know, the Knights of Moor, but based on Moor. And they have all of their armor is decorated in, you know, they have parchments. They have, you know, they have skull motifs everywhere. And it stands in line with the Imperium of Man. Stands in line with the Imperium of Man for 40k. I'm actually getting peppered in the back, and I'm down. I need to clean this up. There are shotgunners everywhere. I really need to stop going in front of those shotgunners. Okay, where's the oh, we need to go. That's... Okay, we need to leave. Okay, let's go. Doors open. Thing is in. Let's boogie. Come on, big man. Come on, big man, let's go. Ooh, what did I get? Oh, I got a penance. I don't even know what that's for, but we did quite well. I personally didn't, but... we did the job, and that's what matters. This tea's delicious. I always loved drinking tea. Tea's been a big thing for me. Maybe it's in my genes, being naturally British. But not just PG, you know, you see people, what is there? You're British, you don't know much about tea. What do you drink? PG tips with milk, and that's it. But, you know, I think tea is fascinating in how it's, in its history as well. Going back to history, tea has been going back thousands and thousands and thousands of years. Goodness me, thousands of years. You know, you hear about people in China and all kinds of different cultures throughout the world basing on what they could have for tea and what things they could make and what we've sort of created as a culture as a result, you know. There's actually, I don't know if I've set up my build yet, but there's a certain build that is apparently very good when it comes to this certain weapon, and I think it actually is. Yeah, okay, okay, I've set it up properly. We'll keep going. We'll keep sort of boogieing through to Damnation. I think I'm actually doing pretty well when it comes to Maelstrom. Sorry, Maelstrom. What is it? Sort of. I don't even remember. Heresy. I think I'm doing pretty well on Heresy. Heresy isn't that bad. When you add things like Maelstrom on top of it, that can be easier. In fact, I'm pretty sure the Maelstrom we just did was on Malice, so that wasn't... that performance wasn't terribly stellar. But... God, what was I saying? Goodness me, I've completely drawn a blank. Oh, yes, the difficulties in that. Malice, I've actually found, I used to be hard stuck on Malice for a long time. I was stuck on Malice for an absolutely long time, but, oh, it's just switched. But, as I've sort of practiced and gotten better, and I actually reached a threshold where I've actually started really making an effort to use good weapons, because you kind of have to in this game. This game is, you can use the weapon you enjoy with the build you like, but if you don't min-max and really make an effort, like to make the right build that does the right thing with the right weapon and the right firearm, it can sort of screw you over if you're not running the right thing and you're running on Damnation. You're running Damnation, you have the completely wrong build. You're going to get destroyed. And in that case, you're sort of smashing your head up against the wall. But why bother? We'll try that again. Actually, no, we'll go regular Heresy. I'm trying to practice the base difficulties before I start adding in the mutators on. Because those mutators can be absolute murder if you don't practice properly first. Practice makes perfect.
We've had reports of heretics up in Fronside. Huh? I want them evicted. Got it? Once Masosi's dropped you off, you'll be heading into Enclave and Barros. You're to get the Aegis station back in our hands.
There are certain things that just can't,
even if we can't hold it forever.
But in a lot of other aspects in life, you can control the outcome by becoming better at it. In like I said, by streaming, whilst you're doing anything, you're doing your job, you're starting a new skill. You won't find success in that thing, in that sort of skill or hobby or anything, if you don't make an effort to improve in your own way that you're comfortable with, but still improving. Improvement is the base of all success. If you, like in the case of streaming, I've always enjoyed the concept of streaming. Like, streaming is fascinating to me. Like, being sort of a performer on stage, but in sort of a very modern way that you wouldn't have really been able to do before. Like, streaming is a brand new thing to some people. If at least when it comes to gaming and doing different things. If you're you're just sort of sitting there talking or just chatting, then absolutely, it's more traditional. You're standing in front of a camera and talking like as if you're performing a vlog, or you're on stage speaking to a group of people. Even more so if you're doing comedy. If you're like, if you were doing comedy, I like sitting on streams closely to the digital mediums you can get. And even then, nowadays, YouTubers have actually started doing that in a live setting. So it's sort of, it's made one big circle. Time is a circle out there. Made one big circle into being live again. Like you might have seen, I was recently watching like the Yogscast and their history. And like videos they've done throughout the last 15 years. Because I haven't watched them for a long time since I was younger. They did a live show at some point where they just had Simon and someone else sit down on a couch in front of an audience on a stage and just play a game together in the format that they normally do, and that's also really fascinating. It's sort of a modernized sort of take on a medium that's been done for a very, very long time. Going on stage and performing for people is like an extremely old cultural. It's an extremely big cultural phenomenon. Like people have been speaking to someone on stage and speaking to the group for about as time as turns. We did the first trial, we elected the first, chieftain. People have been speaking to people to address them in a centralized location. I am playing like an absolute clown right now. But going on stage to speak to people just to do the thing that you're normally doing, that you're used to, and people still enjoy it, just sort of proves how people, they return for things that they're comfortable with. And the things that they enjoy. If they didn't enjoy it, they wouldn't watch it, right? Like, if they were popular enough and they were good enough at the thing that they did for people to buy tickets to their show and to watch them live, then it must be a good
Emperor has not forgotten you, pilgrims.
Very interesting.
He sees your service.
The mind is willing, priest, but the body doesn't give a damn right now.
That's quite a shame. You'll have to suck it up. Oh, well, that one got me. That's okay. Oh, there's a third one. Okay, there we go. But, really... Oh, so many gunners in these games nowadays. Is this normal? I never found out if having so many dread gunners in the game is normal. Maybe they just don't spawn as much on medium difficulty. There must have been 4 or 5 in this one group alone. I don't know if they there's another one. I don't even know if they spawn this much. I don't know what they must not, because I've never noticed them before in the previous ones I've been playing. Goodness, I must be waffling on. But it's important. Waffling is important. If I don't speak, then I'll never improve at speaking. I'm sure I'll get better over time. Having the capacity to improve is something that, personally, I think is just natural to human beings. You become better at something through sheer muscle memory, even if it's something that requires focus to do. It's something that's just innate to us. And if you really apply yourself to that thing, you'll improve faster, even better. And that's something I've always prided myself on. Because as someone who is 90% sure they have ADHD, I haven't got an official diagnosis, but services where I live are not that great, and it's pretty hard to get a formal diagnosis from a medical professional. So I've been sort of educating myself, doing all kinds of research. And cross-referencing with friends that I know have ADHD, and, resources and self-help. I've at least given myself a way of understanding the way my mind works, even if I don't. And I think that's sort of a key part of self-improvement. Been making a lot of effort to improve myself recently, in either, where it's to do with my job or improving myself, learning new things, like I said I was. I've sort of had a bit of a revelation where I shouldn't have to fight the way my mind works to have success. I should use it to my advantage, because normally the way my mind is structured, it's very flippant. Like, I switch topics and I switch thought processes all the time. And that does tend to make quite a chaotic, out of control speech, a thought process, or rather speech pattern. Because I'll be in the middle of saying something and something will come to me. Boom! I'll just switch right to that project because I think it's interesting. I don't choose to do it; it just happens. It's just something that happens. And I've really come to embrace it more recently. Like, I shouldn't have to hate myself or be mad at myself. It's who I am. It's the way my mind works, and it's the way I think. I shouldn't have to fight it. I should use it to my advantage. In the same way that I'm trying to be a bit less humble. You can still be humble to an extent, but rather, I suppose I mean being humble in a way that, to an extent where it's a detriment to me and my successes, because being humble is all well and good, but if you don't take advantage of the relationship you have and the people you know, professionally or personally, then you'll never improve as a person either. You'll never really improve in life. If you don't start accepting the hands that are feeding you, then why would you? You're not really getting fed. So, I've sort of made an effort to accept help from people I know will help me, and take advantage of the people that I'm around. That does sound bad when you say when I mention it like that, but I suppose that's the best way I can name it. I could sort of explain it. Is take advantage of the people, the relationships that I have, in a professional way, not in an abusive way. Like, if I know, like, for example, if you have people in a certain job market that you know personally, they're good friends, they're family, and you could sort of get yourself into a job market with their help, then why would you not accept their help? Like, why would you not make an effort to get into that job market if you know that they help you? If there's a possibility that you'll be able to help yourself and improve with the help of someone else, why not make that effort? Why not try it? If it doesn't work, if it doesn't work, so be it. You've learned a few things, but you'll never, if you don't do it, you'll never know where you could improve, or if you could improve at all. So, take advantage of the people you know and take advantage of the opportunities you have, basically. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. It's an important life lesson and very recently, I've sort of come to notice that and really take it to heart. I'm still learning things. I'm still learning a few things. What is that? Oh, it's another Chaos Spring. That's two. That's two now. Well, that was easy. Yeah, I still have a few things to learn. I still have a few ways to improve, but I think I've sort of reached like a big revelation that I should really start making an effort to improve myself. Improve the things I like to. Improve myself, improve the things that I like doing. You know, try hobbies I've been meaning to try. Really make an effort to sort of expand my horizons and improve myself as a person. And do the things I've been wanting to do, but I've been too scared to do, or I think I can't do because I'm, you know, too stupid or too slow or too quiet or anything. Just do it. You'll never know if you're good at that thing you do if you don't try doing it. And that's what I'm trying to do with streaming. It doesn't work out. You know, so be it. I've still learned a few things, but I think I have at least some talent to an extent where I think I'd be able to make a decent stream, at least in my personal opinion. Even then, it's something I've really enjoyed doing. I see VTubers everywhere, and I think that's really enjoyable. I think the technical aspect is really cool. I think having a method of representing yourself in a way that isn't just a camera, like a lot of people do, it's something different. It's just something that I find personally interesting. And the technical aspect that comes into puppeteering a VTuber avatar like that, you know, like the way I've heard some people use like a particular pedal that they use just for switching emotions. I can't do that because I don't have anything, you know, but people use, you know, stream decks and sound, goodness me, I absolutely lost it again. The way people use stream decks and things like that for changing those emotions and sound effects and you know, music and scene transitions and all the things that have to do with that, you know, custom animations and all that. It's really interesting to me. It's like being a radio show host. A bit, going back to sort of my point. Going back to my point on traditional formats made new. The Twitch streamer is sort of a more modern take on traditional radio show host, in that you're sort of a central. Would you be quiet? You're central, like a central figure or speaker or someone addressing an audience that they have and doing it in an entertaining way. And there are variations in what we have nowadays. You know, there are still people who do that, who do exactly that. They address their friends, their chat in a way that's interesting. They just sit there and just chat, they sort of hang out and relax, and that's admirable in its own way. But I feel like doing it whilst you're playing a game, you know, or whilst you're doing a challenge, whilst you're outside, whilst you're on the street or something, doing something whilst also being entertaining at the same time is a very difficult thing to do, and I'm starting to realise that. It is true. And I realise there's another chaos spawn down there. That's been 3 today. There you go, let's get down. Oh, they get it? They got it. It's difficult being a streamer. And even like the short resets that I've done, I already realized that. And personally, I look forward to overcoming those hurdles. It's really interesting to me. And you know, from the resets that I have done, it's sort of, if you want to see a measure of success, you not only need to be unique in your own way, you need to be interesting, you need to be, you know, you need to be personable in your own way. You need to be personable to the person that's watching you.
Do not be distracted from the way.
But also entertaining in your own personal way. It makes you stand out. And I know there's a chance I won't stand out at all with the amount of people that are on this platform. And that's the truth. But I need to croak these guys. Let's slap you down. Alright, let's go down over there. Alright, that's all good. There's this bulwark. There's another shotgunner. But yeah, being a streamer is it's not easy. It's not easy. Like from the outside, the stereotype is that they sit there, play video games, and just sort of speak with chat, and that's easy. But
Magnificent Emperor, behold your humble servant.
You sort of have to think, how did they get to that point where they're allowed to do that, and they can still have a measure of success? What did they do? What were they doing before this? Were they making videos? Were they doing short form stuff? Did they have experience before? You know? Are they applying the skills that they've learned from their job to streaming? Do they have things they know? You know? Are they a sound designer? So they're really good at sound engineering? Are they good at video editing? So they're editor for maybe a news video or something like that. Most people aren't. Most people are just your average everyday, you know, person sitting in their room, playing games or just speaking to like myself. And I really hope to improve myself in a way that I become more than that. Like my dream is to be able to sort of be able to sit on stream and have a chat where be able to sit on stream and be comfortable enough and sustainable enough to the point where I can just sit down, relax with chat, play something I enjoy, you know, have conversations with people, have discussions with people, you know, exchange ideas, have a forum of ideas, and meet people, meet streamers, and have a community, and be able to do good with the world. You know, good in the world, good for other people, and good for myself, because ultimately that's what I enjoy doing. I like meeting people, I like being part of the community, I like having like-minded people that I'm spending time with, because in reality I never really had that when I was younger. I was a very sort of one-track kid. I was extremely quiet. And I really only had a handful of friends. And I was all well and good. I was okay with that. But now as I grow up, you know, becoming an adult, you realize you can't really do that. Oh my god, there's another one. You realize you can't really do that. You need to diversify. You need to make relationships. You need to make, you know, professional ones. You need to meet people. You need to be approachable. You need to be a person that people will enjoy speaking to, or at least listening to. And I think live streaming can do that. Like the thing I've always wanted to do was like I've always wanted to start a streaming group, a cooperative. You know, Asmongold has a streaming group. There are some other fur groups that V-Fur, that's it, it's V-Fur, they are. I want to become part of that, a part of something like that. I want to be a part of a group of friends and people, like-minded people that I can just sort of stream with, and laugh with, and spend time with, and make memories with. That sounds really nice. That just sounds really fun. And I know that won't happen overnight. Rome wasn't built in a day, but I think if I make an effort, I'll really be able to achieve something. I do have people that actually stream too. I have a friend or two that I've streamed before, so I wouldn't mind starting a stream. I wouldn't mind co-streaming with someone, you know, having fun, because it's all well and good it is to stream by yourself and sort of stream and build a platform and build skills and improve in ways that you never would be able to before, it's always more fun. I know, it comes naturally, doesn't it? When you've crumped as many people as I have, it sort of comes naturally. I say I'm not very good at multitasking, but at least when it comes to speaking, I'm not terribly good. But when I'm doing something visually, I can be pretty decent, because I remember reading that. I remember reading online, or reading somewhere, that the sort of parts of the brain that handle visual processing and parts of the brain that engage auditory processing are two different parts of the brain, which is why you can sort of watch a live stream muted, or you could watch a video and then listen to something else, listen to an audiobook at the same time, and you'll still be able to process both. But I've always had trouble with that. Like, whilst I'm doing something, I sort of tend to clam up. Otherwise, I can't concentrate, because I'm sort of trying to think about what I'm doing and doing it properly, whilst also thinking of the next thing to say. But as I've said before, that will come naturally with time. It's a skill to practice. That's what it comes down to, every time. I really want to make an effort of really. Practice makes perfect. Practice everything. Sort of. I've always been really passive with the things that I enjoy. Except cooking. Except cooking. I'm sort of pretty fervent when it comes to cooking. You know, I'm really particular with it has to be the right ingredients, it has to be done the correct way with the correct utensils, and you know, when I do scrambled eggs, I don't think I could split my performance. I could read things in chat and still crump just as good, I think. As you can see. I'm gonna eat my words at some point. I can be pretty arrogant when it comes to it. I do have, actually, I say that, I do have people carrying me pretty hard because I've been playing absolutely terribly. As you can see. Problem is, this revolver isn't actually particularly good at long distance. Not great. Then again, neither am I. I'm very twitchy when it comes to games. I've noticed. Oh, they're behind us. Fumbled the button there. Dominating the field? I don't think so. I think it's... well, there's no dominating really in this game. Not anymore, at least. They took out the green circles and made people hate each other. It's ultimately better for the game, in my opinion. Taking away the putting competitive aspect in a cooperative game, it just makes it healthy anymore. It's supposed to be a cooperative game. You're supposed to play the game together. Let's go do it. If someone's focused on getting green circled and a little medal in the game, they're going to spend more time running ahead of getting the most kills than actually finish the game. Which is why there's the meme of the Carillion that runs ahead in Vermintide 2, dies, and then immediately leaves the game. I wasn't particularly good at Vermintide, I don't know what it is. I can never really get past, goodness, what's the medium level? Whatever the medium level was in that game. Never particularly good at it. Couldn't find my groove.
Get him dead! Right here!
This one I'm thinking I'm much better in. I have a lot of this problem. Maybe because it's more fluid, there's more things you can do. I just find myself performing better. Oh my goodness. I need to remember to fill up on water before I start streaming because my mouth gets dry. I could explain plenty of things about Warhammer, but I won't. Absolutely could. Warhammer is absolutely massive. And even I don't even know that much about it. That's the thing. It's absolutely enormous. It's moist. Yeah. I'm pretty moist. I'm pretty moist. You always have to remember to moisten yourself. Don't want to get too dry. It affects your performance. Warhammer is massive though. It's absolutely huge. It's British. First of all, that you probably wouldn't know, it's British. And it started in what year? What year did Warhammer start? It's been around since like the 80s. (1987), the first edition of the game. Oh, the tabletop game, rather. Because primarily, Warhammer's obviously, it was a tabletop game. I don't know if Warhammer Fantasy also was a tabletop game. Or it was books next. But both Warhammer and Warhammer Fantasy are both tabletop games. Just like Call of Cthulhu, just like Cyberpunk. Dungeons and Dragons, I don't think so. Because it's not really the same thing. It's a tabletop game, but it's Dungeons and Dragons is an RPG adventure rather than. I guess Cyberpunk. I think Cyberpunk is sort of the same model, a similar model, ish. But Dungeons and Dragons is more like it's a group. It's like an adventure more than sort of a fight, because that's what Warhammer sort of is. You put your things. An MMO, Dungeons and Dragons, a tabletop MMO. I suppose it can be, but it's. Well, no, Warhammer. Warhammer isn't. I don't think there's ever been a Warhammer. Well, there has been a Warhammer MMO. I'm wrong about that. I don't remember what it was called. I think it was just Warhammer: The End Times. Apparently, it wasn't great. Warhammer doesn't offer well to being an MMO. You think it would be. You'd think it would be, but it actually doesn't that much. It does end up. It is, but it's obviously going to be better as a strategy game because it is a strategy game. Primarily, Warhammer is a tabletop strategy game, whereas Dungeons and Dragons is it's an RPG with a group of friends. It's story based rather than just numbers. But then it sort of developed beyond that. They started books. Once something becomes popular enough, the video games start flowing. It just starts happening. You can't avoid it at all. There will be video games of something that's even mildly popular at some point. Every time. And sometimes they stick, and Warhammer did stick. Most of the time they don't actually stick, because it is a bit of a meme in the Warhammer in the Warhammer community where you, like, every 5th game is a good one. Although there have been very, very many good ones that have come out recently. Sort of ones that have been coming out recently. Like,
Heretic agents are
I remember...
elements into the water
Goodness, what is it
supply.
called?
Heretic intrusion has been detected.
Hold on a second, let's finish this briefing.
1866A. This is the contamination vector. Expunge all intruders and restore the water supply. Make haste, varlets.
I love Hadron so much. But as I was saying, Warhammer does offer well to being an RPG, not an RPG. Hadron, no, the person doing the this individual speaking now, Hadron Omega 77. She's one of the people involved in this game. She is. Who she is and what she's a part of is also, well, who she is not so much, but what she's a part of is another can of worms in itself. And I'm going to go into it right now. She is what is called, or she is a part of what is called the Adeptus Mechanicus. And the Adeptus Mechanicus are sort of an offshoot of... They're not a part of the Kingdom of... Of the Empire of Man. But they sort of cooperate with them a lot. They're part of their own religion. Which is the Cult of Mars. And the Cult of Mars, they're a sort of a techno-fetishistic society of people who believe in the machine's spirit, which is basically the belief that every machine is sort of alive or has a spirit inside it that you have to appease and treat well. Because if you treat your weapons badly and you treat your tanks badly, the machine's spirit within will be very unhappy and they'll stop working. That's what they believed, and so the Empire of Man and the Adeptus Mechanicus sort of have their own... It's not... I don't know if it's a treaty or something, but they cooperate with each other very often. Or they might as well... They work together, they're part of armies and everything like that, but they also... The Adeptus Mechanicus have their own armies. And so on, but they cooperate often, very often. Like, they're like petition to... They're petitioned mostly. I'm pretty sure that the Mechanicus are... There you go, there's a different enemy, there's a Plague one. It's about time we got a new boss. The Adeptus Mechanicus are primarily responsible for the weaponry and the machines that the Marines and the Guard use. So, if they end up pissing them off at some point, they'll just... They're fucked. Like, they have no one... They have got people to manufacture and take care of their weaponry and other things like that. So, don't piss off the Mechanicals, I suppose. That is a lot of dogs. I think I know what this map condition is. I'll take that.
We will show these
Lots of dogs.
to the beneficent emperor. My soul swells.
Yeah, in a nutshell, that is who. Oh god, he's singing now. That's basically who Hadron is. She is a robotic monk who believes in the spirit inside of weapons. essentially. How many factions exist? Too many to count. Absolutely far too many. You could probably make an entire book about the amount of Space Marine factions there are.
We fight in his holy name!
There are no good guys in this setting. Absolutely none. The Empire of Man is absolutely abhorrent. They do terrible things, and they make you eat dead people. Do you know what corpse starch is? Should I educate you on what corpse starch is? And how they treat psychers, which are basically magicians in this game. In this game. Yeah, this game. In this series. Shall I tell you what they do to abhumans, like this large gentleman here, this large fella? How they treat these, or what they've done to them? Shall I tell you how they keep the God Emperor of mankind alive?
Target neutralization.
It's not pleasant.
I won't let you in.
Better shouting. Crew of Morningstar talk of Eye of Terror.
I don't think anyone can, but it's fascinating what they're saying. I don't think, rather, I'm having a one-sided conversation. I don't think anyone would like to manage without that. I think anyone would manage without that bit of history, but then again, it's fascinating all the same. It's really interesting. Like, it's sort of a train wreck. You can't really put it down. I imagine once I start reading these kinds of books, I don't know. I wouldn't be able to stop reading it. And I'm not particularly one for books either. Don't like reading books. I shouldn't. I should read books, but I don't like books. Can never really find myself keeping up with them. That said, I do have a favorite book. My favorite book, I think, was always so the Edgar Allan. Well, it's a book that's not really a particular book of the art of the writer, but it's I have a big book of Lovecraft's complete works from when he first started writing when he was 16, all the way up until the ones he wrote before he died, you know. Including, you know, his best works in the Mountain of Madness, Mountains of Madness, the Color from Outer Space, the
Bringing the Psyker, it seems.
what else? The Dunwich Horror, that's another one. Dagon, that's a classic, one of the very first ones he did. The very first thing he wrote was actually the Beast in the Cave. It's a very basic. It's a very basic story. It starts at this village having problems with an animal killing people, dragging them into the cave. And so they petition one man or an individual to go into the cave to find out, you know, to find this thing and kill it, or you know, find out more about this thing, this creature that's going on. And then as he goes deeper into the cave, he finds more evidence pertaining towards that it's that it's an individual. This beast is actually a person that's turning into this sort of creature that's dragging people away in the night and killing them. It's very basic, but it's at the time it was sort of set the trend for his future as a writer. A very tortured writer, mind you, but he found lots of success after he passed away, and which is the norm for writers and artists. You know, you always hear about artists not becoming popular until after they're dead, and that's mostly the truth. People really didn't find a an appreciation of Lovecraft until after he passed away a few years. But you know, whilst he was still here, of this earth, he had his pieces published in a magazine. Either in a magazine or some kind of journal. It was a magazine in the Boston. It was like a magazine in Boston at the time, and I think he started getting his stuff published before or at the same time as the creator of Conan the Barbarian. So I think those series sort of started around the same time, or at least not at least during a similar time. And it's fascinating because, as a writer, Lovecraft always wrote about the things that he was afraid of. He was a very disturbed man, don't get me wrong. He was very. People have heard about the stories about what his cat was called and how his parents were outrageously bigoted. But after doing a bit of research, as far as I know, he became sort of a better person when he did this painting. He went away from his parents. He sort of, I think, he got married or something. He became a much better person. He was a very disturbed person during this time, but he did become sort of better as time went on. That is quite well, as admirable as I think that is. I think it started to affect his writing. He did. I think he got sick and sort of passed away at some point. He didn't really die naturally. He was quite sad. He was a very sad man. He died. I think he was quite poor when he died. And he died of some disease, if I'm not mistaken. But so he was sort of destitute when he passed away. He didn't see any of the success that his writings brought. And it's a bit sad because, as a tortured artist, you never really do you? Especially personally. You never think you'll see any success, and you personally don't see success. You don't think you're good enough to merit success. Nobody does, unless they make enough effort convincing themselves otherwise, which you should. You should always start to see yourself critically, but still be. You should still be positive.
Targets identified.
And that's sort of another mindset I've been trying to have for myself after having my awakening.
No.
It's something you learn. Yet again, I said that. There's another one. I think that is 4 chaos spawns.
What saintly vision is this?
This game seems to love throwing chaos spawn at us or something. Plenty of chaos spawn. No beast of Nurgle though. But they are the easiest. Easiest to kill. They're not that bad. So that last second. Let's get this crusher. This is sort of another area I need to practice in. Well, that wasn't so bad. With my friends behind me, we can do anything. Where's that bloody dog? There it is.
No more, hound.
A bit of a chumpus there. Another dog.
Now you die, hound.
Execution warranted.
Flamer is judged.
So many specials. So many specials. I do love this revolver though. It is just so snappy and fun. This is exactly what I needed from these revolvers. And a speed loader, thank God. Though, you know, given the other one is sort of... Given how the other... Friendship can be equally destructive. It's magic. I don't think you need magic to be destructive anymore. With your friends, you can do anything.
Isolating target.
The power of friendship. And this gun I found.
Neutralize that gunner.
This gun is better fire, is faster firing than the other one, but you absolutely chew through ammo like nobody's business.
Switch!
You're right, that was a switch. Very astute. Yeah, it's not so bad, big man.
It's just your skill.
Plenty of juice.
I once saw
You do need
a
plenty of
Cerberus
juice.
emulator once.
Although,
Now that is a war machine.
the term juice can have a different definitions for people. Certainly has one for me. For me it means alcohol, I don't know what you're referring to. God, I am going to get absolutely soaked in gin and tonic during Christmas. I have eaten so many bullets, hold on, I'm dying.
I'll help if you want.
Most appreciated.
There's a sniper too.
I found it.
Almost at Silo Cluster 1866A.
We should be grouping up here. That's actually, yeah, good. Here they come!
Culminating.
Cranberry juice. I do like orange juice. Blueberry juice isn't too good.
Good. A healing station.
I do like juice. I love fruit. I like fruit in general. Fruit's always been nice. I should bring myself to eat more fruit. Thing is, fruit can be sort of expensive if you don't look properly. Fruit and fruit juices.
Face judgment.
It'd be hard to find decentable at a reasonable price, I think, I found. But you could always find a way of making good products too. I always like making smoothies. Creamy smoothies. They've always been fun making.
Target pacification.
Slay the mutant.
I dodged for that too.
Beneficent Emperor, free your servant.
Two-stage process. Activate the system auto-cleanse, then
What have we
discourage
got here?
the demon from interfering.
Yeah, so you can't be very accurate with this thing.
No return this way.
But it can pump out damage if you're close by. I just need to know when to do it properly. I'm glad I did that properly for once.
This is how it is done.
That's some...
Metaphysical reduced. Continue.
God, it does feel good just blasting a mutant in the mouth like that. like I said, this game is incredibly satisfying. Vermintide can be fun, but they've really nailed the feel of this game and the weapons. They really did a good job.
Was there anyone there?
It was a bit rough to start with. The Fat Shark did have their growing pains, especially when it came to this game, but they made it in the end. They added the game-saving update, like that you always need. Always a nice thing to have. It's a nice thing to see. Sort of, people sort of already knew that it was going to be great later on, because that's sort of what happened with Darktide. That's what happened with Moebian 2. That's what happened with this game as well. It sort of had a very rough start, and then it sort of improved itself later. And at this point, you really have to believe that it's not really the devs themselves that are making this problem. It's always... that sort of thing is always going to be a leadership problem. Especially when you get acquired by Tencent, like... as Fat Shark unfortunately were at some point, as far as I know at least. So they must have really pushed them to pull some shenanigans, as it were, with the sort of the monetization of this game release. People had a big issue with how the cosmetics were placed in this game. You know, FOMO and timed exclusives and very expensive exclusive currency, microcurrency, transactions are all cool. People left a bad taste in people's mouth for quite a while, but now, only very recently, as the game sort of tilted back into mixed, or mostly positive actually, which I'm very happy with. Don't get me wrong, people don't like seeing their favorite game fail. The reason why people get mad at it is because they're so passionate about it and they enjoyed it in the first place. People don't like seeing the things that they enjoy fail. That's what it might seem like, but that's... the reactions that people give, the sort of outrage that people give, is because it's a point of passion. People get passionate about the things that they enjoy. And if that thing ends up failing or being very poor in some way, in a way that it shouldn't have, then people get upset. People get very jaded and upset. They put a lot of passion and emotion into this thing. When they find out that that thing sort of fails in some way or another, then people can get quite affected by that. Like, personally, I am very heavily involved with the Monster Hunter series. I absolutely adore Monster Hunter as a series. Monster Hunter is my favorite RPG. Dragon's Dogma is my favorite RPG. I absolutely adore Capcom, what they've been doing recently. But I'm very much looking forward to Monster Hunter Wilds, which is the 6th Monster Hunter in the series, the brand new. It was just announced at the Game Awards recently, and I was about as excited as you can imagine. And if that game turns out to be bad, which you know, there's a chance of that. Don't get me wrong, but Capcom have a track record of making sure games are very much polished and well made before they come out, which, given the fact that it's the 6th game in this series, it would be at this point, right? But there's always that chance. There's always that chance. That's what a lot of people fear when they see games coming out that they're looking forward to. Ugh. They get upset when it doesn't work out, and they sort of take it out on them. People deal with things differently. Some people are a bit more level-headed, but mostly people are herd animals. They sort of do the same thing that other people don't. If they see people bashing shit online because of their disappointment, if they see people sort of being quite angry at something, then yeah, they'll do it too. Because they feel the same way, and they want to express that disappointment in a way that they are comfortable with. And that's with other people. But I'm pretty confident that Monster Hunter will come out exceedingly well. Just from the look of it, the trailer that they had, it looked amazing. Although I'm not sure if it's going to be on the RE engine, which almost every game has been coming out on very recently, or it's going to be on its own proprietary engine again. It was a very good engine, but I feel like I feel like Monster Hunter could very much profit from the RE engine. It's what Rise did. Monster Hunter Rise was very good. It was good. I personally didn't like it, but it was. You can tell they had a lot of passion into it. It was just the way the game was set up and the design and the graphics and that. I just personally didn't like it. I know it was a Switch release, which is personally why I didn't like it. It didn't have the same full body and the satisfaction and the oomph and the grit that Monster Hunter World had. And that's sort of what got me back into the series again. I always loved the series, but I sort of had to watch it from a distance because I didn't have a handheld. The game Monster Hunter was sort of releasing on handheld exclusively for a decade or so. Excuse me. But then only recently, within the last 5 or 6 years, it started releasing again on mainstream media, on PlayStation, Xbox, PC, and even then, once Monster Hunter World on PC didn't come out until a year after they came out on console. So even then, they weren't used to working with that kind of platform. But now they're doing very well in that regard. Especially when it comes to modern releases, they've been doing very well. People still have their complaints, naturally, everyone will, but people have been really happy with how these games have been coming out, and so have I. Give me a second here, I just need to take a break. Delicious water. Okay. Like I said, I've been very proud of what they've been doing. I'm very happy for them. Like, Monster Hunter was a successful, but still quite niche series. When it came down to it. They sort of were stuck in this one platform, and then they couldn't really diversify in a way that would be better for the greater world as a whole. But there was a reason for that. I believe the reason why they sort of were stuck. They were on a DS and PlayStation for a while, was that they had an exclusivity deal with Nintendo. At least I think so. I don't know if they just simply decided to start They just thought that it was where the game was best, because they sort of did design it around being portable in that you could pause the game whenever you wanted. Hunts were quite short, things of that nature. But now the game's a lot longer. It's a lot more long form. You can play it for longer hours, and you have to dedicate yourself to it more. And I'm sure Monster Hunter Wilds will be much the same way. I don't doubt that for a second.
Heat's gonna make things heavy going.
Too hot, too cold, too hurt, too tired. All you do is complain.
This place may yet be put to righteous use.
Excuse me.
Walk through doors? No. Then find the release.
You can see why I love her. She is
Access to ventilation tunnels.
incredibly sassy.
Progress acceptable.
Soldiers fight wars, but you need places like this to make the weapons for us.
I almost jumped off the edge.
Require cryonic rods. Confirmed. Head to the control chamber and locate some.
Show no weakness! Show no fear! Show no hesitation!
She can be quite classy,
We're kidding with
but she's...
Gone!
I would say she's quite sassy. She's more abusive than sassy. She does call you Vala, so she thinks of you more as a servant boy or anything.
Our way lies in darkness!
But you know, people are attracted to that kind of thing, aren't they? They wouldn't call her Robo-Mother for a reason.
AF134K accessed. Proceed to production line A.
Please step on me, Hadron Mommy, Uwu. Oh, amen.
Silence! Hound! It's a mercy! Mercy comes for you, master!
What is happening behind me? Are you guys okay? Yeah, they'll manage.
A switch! Medicaid station!
There are. Peekaboo. Where's that sniper? Okay. Suppose I have to realize that... Oh, what have we got? What's on the menu today? There's a beast of Nurgle. Playful little dog you are. Come over here. These things are quite enjoyable.
Let it be so! The beast must die!
There you go, we got it. Not that bad. Oh, someone dropped. Might have disconnected.
Perhaps I have misjudged your skill! You can't hide from judgment, sniper!
That was a sniper, I didn't even see that. Are you guys okay? There we go. I would say she's not much of a robo-milf, considering she can't have children.
I am ready to die, if that is what he has ordained.
But I'm sure she's built enough things to be warranted one. Something is crawling in my throat. Did you hear that?
His light will guide us, even into this darkness.
Ammo crate!
Exterminator!
Let's drop.
That's what I'd like to see. Some say the world will end in holy fire.
Crazy to blow up all these manufacturers!
They're not wrong. That was a mistake.
We got it! We got it!
We done? Okay, let's go. Manufactorial. It would be a shame because Exterminatus is a weird in the context of Warhammer. Exterminatus is basically... That was awful. I did not pay attention. Absolutely took that bomber to the mouth. Exterminatus is basically the concept of completely completely exterminating every single life form on the planet. Which is both primarily done with nuclear weapons from orbit. And as the lady mentioned, the lovely Cadian Marine, keep missing my shots. Goodness me. As the lovely lady said, it would be a shame to blow up all his manufactorums, which means that factories, basically, but these factories span pretty much the entire planet. Manufactorum is essentially a factory that spans an entire continent. Because as you might notice, we are not outside. Where is it? Can't even see it.
Health booster.
That is something I should give merit to too. This game, the world design in this game is absolutely incredible. Down to every single window like this. Every window is shaped like a church window. Every door, every skybox, every single little screen, every button, every knob. It's all done so meticulously well in a way that's still trying to be an homage to Warhammer as a series and to the theme and the style of Warhammer. Like this kind of brutalist, dark, futuristic technology is nothing short of terrifying in every single way. Every time you look, every way you look, there's something that looks ghastly and unkind and firm and hateful. Like, technology hates you, but it's what these people have to do to survive. Like, you might have seen that sort of robot didn't exactly look like a robot, and that was because that's what is, I believe, called a servitor. I don't know if a servitor is like an entire robot or a particular kind of robot, but a servitor is essentially a criminal or some kind of heretic that's been arrested and essentially lobotomized through a very slow, laborious process and turned into some kind of utility, like a robot or like a healing station, as you saw there, or a communication robot or something else. They're essentially lobotomized and slowly turned into a robot through a very slow and laborious process, but still maintain their intelligence and sapience, so they're still alive, essentially. And through that, they are provided pendants in the eyes of the Emperor. Like, they're now serving the Emperor in a more honourable way, instead of being just sort of killed and branded a heretic and dumped somewhere with his corpse starch. It's their way of paying their debt to society in the end. It's admirable in their own way, but they don't get a choice. Every single time. Every time triple tapping those mutants feels so good. Feels so good.
This way! Straight down!
Let's jump.
Next objective. Prime and deploy cryonic rods. System intrusion required. Deploy data interrogators.
Hold on a second, let me...
Someone kill that bastard! Boy, buddy!
Okay, never mind. I thought I might be able to fiddle with some things whilst I was streaming, but I can't. I'll have to check what's slowing my performance so bad. I'm not sure what it is. Because when I'm not streaming, this performs like a dream. Oh, I thought that was something. Right now, I'm definitely not above the 60 FPS right now. Maybe it's hardware encoding? Maybe, I don't know. I'll have to see.
Finally! A worthy strike!
Why is it never easy? I blame you, varlets.
There you go. So you see, there are I have moments where I hit every shot and then I miss every shot. I am not consistent.
The bomber is dead! Pray!
Well, I suppose if they're within kissing distance, then anyone would be anyone. That dog is dead. Did you see how far it flew? There you go.
Almost done!
To the moon. That dog pissed the moon. He's eating cheese with Wallace and Gromit now. Oh my goodness. I pissed that laser. Where's that top slinger?
Parameters almost met.
There we go.
Connection failure. Error. Error. Investigate. Redress.
Hold on. Alright.
The time for healing is at hand!
Well, I mean, I don't think so, but... You do you, King? That's a thing I like, actually, about streaming.
I am surprised.
Some things that I can see you won't be able to see because of the
Are in position.
compression.
Proceed to
Because
the
I think...
next phase.
I don't know what resolution I'm currently streaming at.
That is!
Because it says it was 3440 by 1080. Or 3440 by 1440. But I assume the maximum I can do is like 720 or 1080.
They're mostly flattened after we're done.
And I'm getting 6.2, 6.8 kilobytes per second, which is very good. I'm actually quite glad that we have our that we managed to improve our internet at some point, because with the internet that we have now, I have more than anything incredibly good upload times. Which I'm very happy with. It's one of the things that encouraged me to start streaming again.
Chaos Hound to arms! Destroy the abomination!
There you go.
I am unstoppable! The barrel is going to explode!
Because I have some post-processing things that I can see that make things a bit jagged or a bit blurry and all like that. But
Ambush! We are surrounded!
But you can't really see it with the resolution that you're watching at, so I'm actually quite happy with that. I'll be able to play games with slightly better performance. A demon host is also a very fun thing in this game. It's not fun actually, it will kill you. It sort of demolishes you and mangles you a little bit and then leaves you on the side of the road, but
What a cracking baller for one-time factory. Is it really that important?
Manufactorings HL1524 through HL1613 already non-functional. Further production loss unacceptable.
well, there you go. Now you know why we're here.
Time to bust some heads!
You're right, big man, it is. We do need to stick together for this one. We have to protect the big... I assume the big man's going to be one to get the rods. We'll have to
Task initiated.
get those chronic rods from that platform into... I think it's each of these platforms.
Cryonic rod acquired. In position.
And we have to guard the big man carrying.
Show me your cartoon war faces!
Cover me! Now!
Cover priest!
We must stay together!
Shove in these bits. This skull, this giant skull that you can see. Or fine, we'll do it in that one. Okay.
Witness our first success!
There's another one. There's two.
So close!
Yes, we are.
Time to earn our pay!
Where's the big man's going to get the next one? Where is it? Sniper.
Another dead sniper!
Hold on a second, we get to the big man. Where are we? Let's get this train roll.
Success. Activate emergency coolant.
Okay, let's get this coolant going. Smack this coolant right into the cylinder. Jump on our ride home. This is basically what we're doing. We're cooling down this entire factory so they can make more tanks.
Maddie pack time!
There you go.
Medipack down! Cleansed by holy fire!
I love all the certain techniques and sort of muscle memory you learn from playing this game. It feels so good to play. It feels so good. It feels really skill based. And it, to be honest, is. Like, there is no game that's as unique as this one. That has all kinds, you know, the use of dodging and crouching and sliding, meleeing when to push and when to push stab and everything. It's so many things go into the skillful play. It's just so interesting, so fascinating. It's so engaging. It makes it so enjoyable. You just want to keep playing. That wasn't bad. That was pretty good. No deaths. That's actually been something I've been consistent in. Not going down or dying. Right. I'm gonna wait for this to load and I'm gonna go to the bathroom. I'll be right back. Ugh. Goodness me. Alright. I am back. I hope you're enjoying this, by the way. I know I am. This is a lot more fun than I thought it would be. It really gets me going. Like, it really excites me. It gets me sort of, wakes me up. It's really fun. It would actually take 5 minutes to sort of calm down a little bit. Get my bearings. It's been almost it's been actually about 5 minutes. I've been going for 2 hours. That's really good, actually. I never thought I'd be able to sort of engage myself for that long. Really proud. need to figure out I need to find my identity, I think. I need to find out who I'm going to be as a streamer. I know what I want, but I need to find out who I'll be. I think that's always important. Find your identity, as well as your platform. What you're good at, the games that you'll play, the things that you'll do. Not just gaming. Gaming isn't something I want to be stuck to, because I'd love to do like I'd love to cook for people, like show people how to cook, even if it's something really basic like spaghetti. Cooking is really fun. I've always loved cooking streams. The things, you know, I've been looking into things that people do. You know, like Doug is always a really good idea. He's a really good example of, you know, a successful streamer and YouTuber that's found his niche and is really making sort of a good job on being really entertaining and being a unique platform. You can appreciate it. You can really appreciate it. It's really something you... Forgot to switch screens, by the way. You can really appreciate what they do, what he does. Like him, like Doug, Ludwig, and you know, you think people like XQC, who is exceedingly popular, but all you see is, you know, him playing games and like speaking to people, but it makes you wonder. You have to wonder what they did to get that popular in the first place. You know, that he must have been doing something right. You just have to figure out what. For yourself. You have to find who you are. You have to find your voice. You have to find your platform. You have to find your talents. You have to find something you're good at. Because, you know, people say you can't just start playing games and hope for the best. I mean, you can, and maybe you'll find success in it, but, you know, it's not something you can do forever. You have to diversify, you have to do different things, you have to do interesting things, you have to put yourself forward in a way that people find entertaining, while still being sort of true to yourself in a way that you still find appreciation for what you do. You know? It's always really important. Either way, we have a game to play. So let's get back to it. Keep grinding. Keep getting on that grind, on that Sigma grind set. I shouldn't have said that. Why did I say that? But doing pretty well with Heresy. Heresy is not bad at all. I just need practice. So I'm going to see if I can find a Heresy with some kind of hunting grounds. No, we did that before. Could do that. Tell you what, let's do a quick one. Do a relaxed one. Do something something a little simpler for us, so we can get a bit more stuff, and so I can sort of relax a little bit and not have to focus so hard. Excuse me. I love this outfit that this person has. That armor looks amazing.
I reckon I'll handle this one. It can be our little secret, yeah? Right, so
hello,
there's
Commodore.
an exchange happening in one of the transit hubs. The prismata crystals are useless to you, but not to your lady Alice. Get those crystals out of the Moebian sweaty palms and bring them to me. You can do that, can't you?
Wow, apparently my CPU is maxed out. Always maxing out.
Oh, the cold, even the dirt's covered in dirt. Well, then again, do you have authorization for this mission?
Woken up, have we? I don't take orders from you.
I shall inform Grendel of this transgression.
Yeah? Crawl away, worm. We got things to do. Now head for the maintenance site in you lot. We'll take the rest from there.
The heretics shall fall before our might! You're not a bad shot, Ken!
You see that? That looks amazing. Back to the discussion of the way that this game was designed. The world design. That looks incredible. See that? All the way up there. It's fascinating.
Return fire!
It is incredible. The amount of effort that they went into. It's really good. I really like it. No, there isn't. One true what? Go on, finish your sentence. Effectual definitely has an effect on your throat when you talk so much. I'm definitely not used to talking. You can tell. I have to start using lozenges when I start playing. When I start streaming. Or like honey. Bring some honey tea. I was having honey tea just before. That's what I brought when I started to stream. I thought it would be a good idea. It has helped a little bit. It's helped, but might have to something more long term, like something like a.
There be no fear if ye have convictions.
Pray, and
like
he will give you courage.
a small tub of honey just to kind of sip on every now and then. Because that's what singers do. Yeah, I had a cup of tea whilst when I started streaming. I had a big cup of tea, big old cup of tea when I started with a. I might have to use more honey though. But I've heard that people, singers, professional singers and voice actors in particular, use like a small cup of honey that they just sip on as they do their work, because it's just so hard on their throat. It's so like rough, which it is. Like if you're a professional voice actor, the things you have to do and the training you have to go through is incredible. It's so extensive. You wouldn't. It's like you can't imagine how much they have to do to get to the point that they're at. Especially if they get to the point where they're sustainable. They make a job like a proper professional voice actor for games or video games or anything, cartoons, anything. Hello, Joe boy. Thanks for joining. Did you by chance follow? I thought I heard something. You fucking hell! Look at that. Excuse my language. Look at that. You were the one to bring us to 10 followers. It's a small step, but it's a step. Thank you so much. I'm glad you could come. I hope you stay. Watch me crump some heretics. You have to forgive me if I'm a bit twitchy. This is like the first stream I've ever done. And I am absolutely terrified. But I am really excited. Not used to it, and I'm really excited to sort of learn a lot of things. Do you know much about Warhammer, Joe Boy? Is this your first time seeing Warhammer, or are you a fan of Warhammer? Or just Darktide? I understand if it was Darktide, because Darktide can be... Darktide, just by itself, looks like a very interesting game, even if you don't know much about Warhammer. I've sung this game's praises so many times. I was a bit slow on that one. I've sung this game's praises so many times. Even if I didn't know anything about Warhammer, I'd still do a lot of this game, to be honest. Just with how fun it is, and comfortable it is. Wow. It feels good seeing sort of like a reaction to what you're saying, because I'm so used to sort of speaking to myself. It's difficult for me to get into a really big conversation, especially considering I don't really speak to people so often. Even in voice chat, I'm still relatively quiet. But knowing that like people are listening to me, and I necessarily don't really need to contribute to a conversation, feels really good. Like it is very validating. It makes me feel heard. I'm glad.
Ah, yes. The
I'm really glad.
Lord Melk. There is little nobility to the man.
I have seen his swords abuse the privileges of their rank all too often.
Yeah, Simon Melk is a character. Scripture. Simon Melk is a character. That is the thing about this game. A lot of the characters, even though they might not be good people, they are incredibly charismatic. Like, I could beat myself up. I absolutely can. As long as it's constructive, I think being critical of yourself is a very important thing. If you're not critical of yourself and the things that you did, you will never find its faults. That's another thing. Very important. You should be critical of yourself, but you shouldn't be... Oh, what's the word? Oh, what's the word? Oh, I'm gonna die. Oh, what's the word? Ooh. What's the word? I don't remember the word. It's gonna kill me. Yes. Well, if you're in a back alley, I would imagine you're bloody lost. If you were in a back alley and you approach yourself, would you be like, hey, are you lost? Yes. If you get yourself in a back alley, you sort of have to ask yourself where you've gone wrong. Because some decisions have to be made in order to get yourself into that situation. There you go. Where are we going? I never remember where they're supposed to go in this map. More shotgunners. They always come in twos. Shotgunners always come in twos. Talking to yourself in a mirror. I don't even have a mirror. Oh, I ate that laser. There are so many shooters. See, that's the... Oh my god, I am... Thanks for picking that up for me. Goodness me, I was a mess.
Get down there. There'll be another way out. Here, catch this!
I'm starting to... I say I was excited, but I'm starting to lose steam now. This is getting really difficult. Although I guess I don't need to use speaking all the time. I just need to be interesting. Which? Hello. Alessandro22, thank you. Thank you for coming. How are you doing? Hello to you. Do you like Warhammer? Alessandro22, there you go. Do you like Warhammer? I love Warhammer. Not as much as a nerd, but I do appreciate it quite a bit. I do like it. Don't be too... I say I come in here asking questions for people who join. Don't feel pressed to answer a question. I'm glad you're here at all. You know. If you want to lurk and just relax and sort of chill in the stream, which from what I've read, from what I've seen online, is more than the people you think it is. Like a lot more people than you think prefer to just sit and relax and listen to a stream on the second monitor. It's what I like to do. I have a big habit of doing that. I won't always even be watching the stream. Like I'll have it on the other monitor, but I'll turn it down and then sort of have it like in the background whilst I'm doing something or playing something, and just sort of go back to it when I remember it's there. But I stay there, you know. Even if I'm not completely interested in this stream, I'll still stay there just to support them. Because streaming is hard. Like these people need the support, all the support you can get, you know. Like especially if it's good enough for me to get there in the first place, then it's good enough for me to stay there, even if I'm lurking, you know. Engagement is engagement, but people being there in the first place is what makes you a platform. You know? Even if they're necessarily not talking, I still appreciate you being here. What's coming? Oh, this is an ambush, okay. I need to use my career ability marker. I don't need Medicaid, I'm a big man. I'm gonna take it anyway though. Do I have a booster? I'll take a booster. Let's go. Push the button. Yeah, whoever this is, they look absolutely fantastic. They look. I might actually get this skin. This skin actually looks really good. Even has the sensor on the side. I really like that. I like that. I've always loved iconographic in church. Imagery. Something I really do appreciate about Warhammer is how they've put church imagery into almost every single aspect. Like I mentioned before that that a lot of the windows and such are almost every single window in this setting is shaped like a church window or stained glass window, and it's like that kind of consistency is really what makes you appreciate a game like this. Like the gameplay is amazing, don't get me wrong, but there's so much that goes into the world building and that really makes you appreciate it as well. They've really done a good job with this game. I think they just started on the wrong foot. Really, the leadership. I personally believe what game this ring. Wow, I must be more tired than I thought. What I think had this game's its problems when it first started is that the leadership forced them to sort of make these decisions without them really wanting to before they were finished, or not testing it, or just making them release things because they wanted to. Because as I said, this I'm pretty sure Fast Shark got partially bought by Tencent. And the thing about Tencent is they're very notorious for creating aggressive monetization in their games. And people didn't like that, so like they were focusing on making the monetization as good as possible, and they were ignoring other parts of the game. It was making people still sort of want about. People weren't happy about that, but they did release an update a while ago that sort of revamped the way the game worked, at least when it came to your talents, your talent trees, and people really appreciated that. It was sort of that one thing that changed everything and really put everything on put the game in everyone's good lights again, which I'm happy of. It is really nice to see. You know, I've been really interested in this game for a long time, but I really haven't had any reason to play it because it's just sort of been kind of mediocre that whole time. But after this update came out, it really made me more interested with the more recent update, the Part 1 and 2 of the Trader's Curse. It really did a lot of good things for this game. It's really made me enjoy it. I think from now on, the game is on the path to make this really good. Making some really good content, I think. Well, I do say that. I do still think that the monetization isn't really an issue for me, personally. Because, at the end of the day, it is just a cosmetic. It's not like they're locking... It's not like they're locking a key game feature behind a paywall, are they? You know? It's just cosmetics. There are worse things happening in the world than a costume in a game being overpriced. You know, I've sort of begun to not really let myself get bothered by things like that. In my time not playing this game, I sort of did other things whilst I waited for it to improve, but they do improve. They always do improve. People sort of get angry enough that they start to listen to what people have to say and really make an effort to improve things for the better. Which is what they've done. And people are happy for it. I'm happy. Look at how it is now. The game's a lot different now than it was when it launched. Like when it launched, it was a mess. Like the game would crash a lot of the time. People were having lots of problems. People really were not happy with the way this game launched. But now look at it, it's fantastic. New missions, new weapons, things work very well, and it's very satisfying to play. The game always felt, before this update, the game always felt sort of... I don't want to say unpolished, but it was... blunt. Limp-fisted. Or limp-wristed, rather. Limp-fisted. It always felt sort of... not enough. It was on the cusp of being something great. It wasn't good enough. But now it's absolutely... it's fulfilled that promise and more. It's fantastic. And I'm very glad about it. I am really happy for it.
Time to take your leave. Don't forget what you came for.
Yeah, let's boogie. Let's boogie. It's always very simple. Not playing on the hardest difficulty. I like to. Yeah, I'm playing on third, but just for... sometimes you do just need to grind a little bit, because I am building a few builds right now. Won't switch yet. Switching jobs, because I know of this update I'm really excited for using some weapons that pertain to Zealot, always Priest. That was always what I was looking for the most. But then I think I'll switch to Ogren after this, Ogryn is really fun. Or Veteran. Veteran have some of the newer weapons as well. I've always wanted the, something I've always loved about this series is that as soon as it comes, the Deathcore of Krieg set came out, I wanted that immediately. I absolutely love the Deathcore of Krieg. They are an amazing faction. Absolutely my favourite faction. The Imperium of Man. I keep calling it the Kingdom of Man. It's the Imperium of Man. Or the Empire of Man. Always really interesting. So many things where that you can... There are so many like little details and things that you can sort of share about this series that are really interesting to you. All kinds of things. Just little tidbits, things that you know, things that you find out about this game, this series. Things that you find out about this lore. So much lore. There's so much lore. It just never stops. There are so many different things that you can just sort of give information about that you learn, and you just learning about this stuff is really interesting. But by far my favorite is absolutely the Deathcore of Krieg. Absolutely. They are so fascinating as a group. As a planet, rather. Speak of the Devil, there's one now. That's a big outfit. I absolutely love the Deathcore of Krieg. The World War I German, like Imperial German style of uniform has always been something that's fascinated me. And the entire lore of Krieg and this planet is just ridiculous. It's so insane. Goodness me. I'm a lot more tired than I thought I was. I've been doing this for about an hour and a half, almost. In 10 minutes it'll be an hour and a half. Been about, sorry, an hour and a half, 2.5 hours. Two and a half hours. I never thought, I mean, it's the thing, it's such a different way of doing things because you play games for, you play a game for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. And like when you finish, where's the day go? You wonder where the day's gone, but I'm looking at the clock, I feel like it's been like 5 hours, it's only been 2.5. Really does affect your perception of time, but I guess it's something to get used to. It's really tiring, it's exhausting. It's a different kind of mental exhaustion. Like, the difference between doing a 12-hour shift and doing a Twitch stream is completely different because I've done plenty of 12-hour shifts and I'm used to it. And I guess that's the thing. It's different because I've never done streaming before. Never streamed before. Lovely day. I can't. You have to love that. I love that voice. I've never streamed before, and it's tiring. It is really tiring. It's like a burden on the brain. My focus is in quite a lot of places at once, and it's very mentally taxing. But it's fun, and I think that's the most important thing. It is really fun. It's sort of engaging in a way that doing a project is. Like a painting. Working on a painting. Well, I guess not a painting. Well, I guess a painting can be if you. I don't know. Well, maybe not a painting, but working on a sculpture. Like working on a sculpture could be quite exhausting and taxing in a way. But it's once you've done it, once you've finished it, you finish the sculpture, you've polished it, you've made it look as good as it possibly can be, and at the end of the day you have a finished product. And that's something you're genuinely proud of. And that's not something I'm really used to. I never really driven myself to sort of create something in this way, but now I think I will. Because, you know, creating is... It's not something a lot of people can really say they do for themselves. I haven't. I can tell you that I haven't really created much, and I want to change that. Although now, creating a YouTube channel, well, a YouTube video series, is not the same thing as streaming. Streaming, I think, has a lot of more performance anxiety than it does than I would say. Then making a YouTube channel, or making a YouTube video, change channels and video. But making a video, you can do things that it is more like a sculpture or a painting. That is like a project you're undertaking and improving as time goes on.
The Magnificent Emperor sees your suffering, Templar.
Whereas when you're streaming, you're like in front of people. You're in. Even if you're not in front of people, I might not be, but it's still something you're scared of doing. You're really nervous because the potential of, like, people might be watching you, you know? People might be watching and, like, that's enough to make you nervous. To make you, like... It's quite daunting, but I suppose... Like being a radio presenter, like being on stage and anything like that, it's something you just get used to. You know, the reason why I think doing a 12-hour shift is not a big deal is because I've done so many. I've done enough. I've done enough 12-hour shifts where it's like, all right, okay, another one. Let's get to it. And by the end of the day,
such a fate would have brought him.
It feels like the day's going to be long, but then by the end of the day, you wonder where the hours have gone. You've done it. You know, it's the day's over by the time you're finished. As long as you occupy yourself. Just find a way to occupy yourself. Make the most of that 12-hour shift, and that sort of... And that's something I think I have to learn to do here. In time, of course. As with everything, there's always that anxious to do as much as you can, as much as possible. But I have to pace myself and not do everything at once. I don't want to burn myself out before I've started, you know? That is a very important thing. I suppose so, yeah.
You can rely on me, boy.
What a sight for sore eyes.
Yeah, when you do it for so long, you start to get used to the possibility of having to interact with the audience. It's true. I'm not used to it. I've never done it before, so I'm going to be really nervous.
Don't suppose you lot fancy behaving like real
And addressing that, I think addressing that is important.
Oh, and suddenly this feels like a suicide mission.
But, you know, Rome wasn't built in a day, like I've said. You have to get used to it. Just like get used to your long shift, you get used to doing this. And I look forward to it.
Healing! Perhaps we will not be martyrs today after all.
Keeping all tune is a good idea, yeah, it's always important. Being consistent, the thing that I've learned the most about this sort of... Yeah. The thing that I've learned most about this is, you know, consistency. You have to be consistent. Always be consistent. You have to be consistent in what you do, or... if you're not consistent in the games that you play and the things that you do on stream, you have to at least be consistent in how often you go live. And for me, that's going to be a bit difficult because I never know when I'm going to go live. Or rather, I never when I'm going to bring myself to go live, because realistically I could stream whenever I'm not working. But generally I want to keep it to when the most people are free, which is on Fridays and in the evening. Which would allow for both American audiences and British audiences to allow to, you know, it's when I have the largest sort of window of potential viewers, and that's a good thing to learn. Consistency and schedule consistency, and knowing your windows. Which I suppose could be said for just about everything. If you're not consistent in life, then you're not really going to find success, are you? You have to be consistent in practicing painting, you have to be consistent in writing a video, you have to be consistent in writing a script, you have to be consistent in exercising. Without consistency, there's no improvement. And improvement is sort of the base of all life, really, if you ask me. You see, I've always found myself to be sort of a philosophical person, and more recently I've sort of been reading into philosophy a lot, specifically Stoicism, which is specifically the sort of, it's a philosophical belief in that it's the belief in the control. It's like controlling yourself from explosive emotions. So like having control over your mind, having control over your emotions, so you're not explosive. But a streamer I watch, Ambiguous Amphibian, mentioned that you have to experience the bad in order to more appreciate the good. Or to at least have the experience to control those negative emotions, but I think that is a part of Stoicism, really, like knowing when to control your negative emotions in order to make the most out of them, you know? Because I think that's like the highest way of living, the highest, like, yeah, it's the highest way of life. Stroke your own ego constantly like a certain white wolf. Well, certain white wolves can't help themselves. Certain white wolves are going to stroke their own ego no matter what. It comes naturally to them. But I think the highest way of living is that if you have control over yourself and your emotions, then you'll have the most control over your life. If you understand what I'm saying. And hedonism. I am a bit of a hedonist as well, in that the highest way of living, hedonism is sort of the belief that the highest way of living is being able to experience life's pleasures as much as possible. And it has other connotations, but that's sort of the basis of it. I've been teaching myself a lot of philosophy lately. It's very fascinating. And sort of, I've been looking up in history about who was a Stoicism. He was, I think it was Marcus Aurelius. He was the, I believe it was him. He was a very big, pertainer of Stoicism. It was pretty important to him during his time in Northwest, because he was emperor, I think. I think he was emperor for a while. And he did bring him success, and he wrote a few books on it, actually. Which
I find fascinating. I find like ancient literature in that way is quite fascinating. I really will have to. I'll have to get it at some point. It does seem like a really interesting book, even if it might fly over my head a while every now and then. But it's interesting.
This holy work is not yet done.
I always used to think that philosophy was sort of a pretentious thing. It was a very pretentious way of thinking about life. But now I sort of realize that applying philosophy to yourself is the best way to understand the world around you, and that's sort of what it was, wasn't it? It was a way of understanding the world and society around us. That is something they can do again. There's another Chaos Spawn. They love breaking through the wall. It's a very big surprise. There you go. Easy as pie.
The Emperor has guided our hand this day.
He sure has. It might as well be. It's a big kill. Alright, let's go around. Come here, big man.
We are righteous.
I missed that one.
Death for this mutant.
I thought I would have won. Guess that's to be near the head. That was a mistake. I didn't see it till the last second. Oh, and another one.
Your judgment is at hand, mutant.
That wasn't too bad. Just a scratch.
That's your dad.
I absolutely adore this weapon. There you go. Absolutely up.
We've got company.
Yourself up. No one likes a whiner.
Oh, I did not turn around in time. There you go. I really need to watch out for those shotgunners more. Those shotgunners can end your run real quick.
Calm yourself.
Calm yourself, indeed.
Throne, that's a good shot.
I need that. Oh, we must have a grimoire somewhere.
When they come, our deaths are favorable, and the beneficent Emperor's son. There will be a reckoning this day. Be sure of it.
Another ambush. Always a good idea to close the difference. Where's that gunner? Oh, it's keep cutting. A bad habit of cutting this revolver's reload off halfway through. Oh, that was too close. Missed it again. That's bad. Let's grind through this thing. Come here. Oh, that's a lot of guys. That's a lot of men. Alright, come Come here, you maggot. Come here. There you go. That felt good. Those dread gunners are very slippery. I'd imagine they'd be quite slippery with how disgustingly misshapen they are. Oh, this is good. It's like cutting through a block of cheese. Is there a monster? Yeah, it sure is. Another chaos spot. There you go. Quick and easy, just like I like it. Where is that sniper? He is on the other side of the map. Wow, that was quick. Oh, was it down there? He must have been down there. Let's go. Let's boogie. Let's give them what for.
How do you reckon it'll go down?
Oh.
The world will end in holy fire.
That's exactly what's gonna happen.
We are gone, yes?
What kind of cheese at Wensleydale?
Main station!
Or a good mature cheddar. I love myself a good cheddar. Grommy. Oh, cheese! Let's go push this button, Gromit. Let's get this flamer. Oh, I'm having a bit of trouble here.
We're all set. You just need to hold out until reinforcements arrive.
Smashing good, Rick. Oh, that organ's doing a bloody good job. Oh, a bit Australian there. A bit Australian, mate, yeah. Right. Where's that gunner? Those are in the boonies, aye. Let's give him a bit of a slap. There you go. All over your face, mate. Oh, there's some big lads, aye. Fucking hell, mate. Come on, lads, one at a time, one at a time. Oh, I hate that one.
Judgment withholding shall be.
Right, don't want to let it go, do they?
But the Emperor is our shield.
Christ, those overheads can really butter your chicken. Oh, there's a med pack here. That one hit me. I didn't think he was aiming for me. Oh, there's a lot of big men here. Oh, more fire. Back to the healing. Now that's the communication towers up. Let's see if we can get our ride. Yep, we'll clear the area and crump some merit. Excuse me. Pardon me. Oh, Lois. There you go. Squeaky clean. There's a big man. We'll finish this up.
Now get out of there while you can.
Let's finish this up. This has been a... Almost went topsy-turvy there for a second. Oh well, the Emperor Protect. Let's get ourselves back home. Emperor Protects. Come on. Off we go. You can see the rings from the ship there. Talk about how amazing this game is, and you can still see the lights from the ship. Oh well, job done. 23 minutes. Every game lasts at least 23 minutes. Generally. That might not actually be as good as I think it is. I think I'll give it one more, then give it a rest. It's midnight now. I need to sort of relax for a bit. I can understand why people get so exhausted streaming. Yeah, I get it now. Like doing a late night stream, doing a 24-hour stream, doing a 12-hour stream. That's terrifying. But I think I'd be able to do it. I'd love to be able to do it. I accept that challenge. It's really interesting. The only thing that I really have an issue with is like editing, video editing, and like making shorts and things like that. I'm not very good at that at all. I'm worried I might find it tedious and sort of get bored, but I really don't want to. I'm worried about that. I really want to see if I can find a good way of editing. Find a sort of see if I could find my niche in editing. I think I'd be a decent editor at least, because the sort of thing that people like are these like short form, very jumpy sort of thing where you sort of jump from one thing to the next, and you have subtitles and you know, it's 30 seconds at least and stuff like that. You know, I think I'd be good at that, finding things to do, finding good ways to make like YouTube shorts, because that's another thing people have recommended doing, like making YouTube shorts and just sitting down and editing something and just posting it, just doing it. You know, don't just sit there and stream all day. You won't create a brand or a platform if you don't. You know, it's good. It's yet again a good skill to learn. It's sort of part of the sort of content creator experience. You stream. Yeah, streaming is easy. I shouldn't say that streaming is not easy. I just said that streaming is simple enough to do on its own, but you can't just do that. You have to really you have to edit things. You have to make videos. You have to do things that you would enjoy making, but that people would also appreciate.
I'll go with the
Got a Sanction Redactors mission for you.
Fun.
You get all the good jobs.
We have someone in chat.
Targets Indian
Voice
forces
chat.
station, squatting in the water cartel's old digs. Intel places the target in the courthouse cell blocks. Give him the old
I find it funny that you kind of use
hello
those
from me,
talents
would ya?
to upgrade, so you can basically have infinite ammo.
What if
Because
my
that's
mic's on?
the way I cope without having a hotshot lasgun or a hell gun. Supposedly we'll be getting a melter gun in the next pack or so. We'll see.
I hope we're getting a melter gun.
Yeah, I've pushed talk on, so they're not hearing me. I thought we did. I guess they're talking in chat. I guess they're talking to each other. There are two people there chatting. Melter gun is interesting. I don't exactly know what a melter gun is. I don't remember. I have to do a bit more research on that.
I really like that you chose the Schizo Psycho.
Eliminating primary target! Just hitting armor! I'll protect
That's what I'll do bit simple. If these guys have really good builds, this might be a bit simple.
I also did the same with my side. Yeah. I'm so convinced that he's talking to a very
I don't know. Talking. It's like there's a lot of doubt there.
Because the demons know a lot of things too, so yeah.
I need to learn how to deal with rages a lot more easier. Because I can't just face tank them anymore. I really have to do some. Oh my goodness! Is there any more Krook mutants, please? Into the fire. This is going. Finally! That was an ordeal.
Pilgrims, show these heretics they cannot hide! Your end is nigh!
Dog dead.
There is no foe too strong for our faith!
There are plenty of specialists here, aren't there, today? Give him a good bumping. And there you go, we have a bit more breathing room.
Maelstrom is very relic. Invincible almost.
That's a grenade. I'm throwing a grenade right there.
Why have you forsaken me? Another rage at death!
That was also an ordeal.
Sniper is dead!
God. This is rough.
All that shooting and I still have most of my ammo.
When did I get grabbed?
Like 3 of them. Can't even see anything.
We have need to escape! I am unstoppable!
Okay.
That was rough. That was also.
You're so inspiring, sibling!
Lord. Alright, we made it through. That's the most important
Take a
thing.
moment. Find comfort in prayer.
Do not drop your guard.
That does not look stable or safe in any way.
That doesn't look stable. This team doesn't look stable right now.
Your rage was not enough.
I think I'll wait till I get another wound.
Thanks!
When are we going to the other hive city? The bad one that everyone pretends to trust.
Don't talk about that. Normal you if you're wise.
I I do like the sort of implications.
For next type, you go into the hype that he does.
Should have been in the middle though.
That meat sack won't trouble us now! The barrels! Death to the mutants!
Death to the mutants. There was like 5 of them there again.
Use this healing.
Where's this dog now? Come on, show yourself. No, I don't think he does either.
I think the only thing I don't like about Maelstrom is the charges spam.
Beneficent Emperor, judge
Ooh, just getting up here was an ordeal. Oh, shotgun. I hate shotgunners. I do need to do more than just spam left click, but that's kind of the only thing I have the brain power to do right now. I have a health booster at least. Oh, that was good.
Here they come. Hold out till the assistant's there.
More healing. This one doesn't go terribly badly. This is we keep the shooters in control and the ranged units. What have we got? What have we got? Marines. Oh, Marines. Guard. Astra Militarum is what they're called. I saved him. Get down, Mr. President. Whee! Where's that sniper?
Must you make such a mess, zealot?
Aspire to such virtue.
You'd better hope I make a good as bad as this. Making a mess in this environment is encouraging. Anyway, they're slowing down now. Let's mop these up and get up the stairs. Even you. Freak.
All good?
Is the Lex
All good.
always just? Perhaps not,
They can't
but
hear
it's
me,
the
but,
best
you know.
we've got.
We got more than that.
More conversation.
We got orders. Understand?
That's 2 snipers. Quick draw McGraw. Let's go.
Get through the house.
Is there another one? That's you.
Won't miss that one.
How many of them are there? That's 1, 2. That's more. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 mutants. 8. Is that 8? Do I hear 9? Goodness gracious me. There's more
Probably
coming.
One of us died in that shot because it's such a scare.
Let's face it.
Duty eliminated! Moebian flavor!
That is one hell of a bad time if you're not there. If you're not in the right place.
Be judged.
Dog.
Sniper!
Yeah, I got him. God, I love sniping with this thing. Is there anyone else? Where are they going? Which way do they go? Oh, they come from the bottom. Fair enough. Okay. Let's go, Frenchie.
It is my dearest wish to receive the commendation of the Holy Synod.
Us? Get a commendation from a cardinal? Ha, seems unlikely.
My beloved lady! He's much better than us.
Oh, we're surrounded! Don't match your strength yet!
Explosive air! Big news is dead.
Problem?
Got fire.
I'm off the edge. That fire's an issue. There's my resist death. And down I go. Whee! With a splash.
Doesn't mean I trust you.
Your loyalty's appreciated.
I'm the only one that's dead.
This brings back memories. None of them good.
Damn it.
And a drug domination.
I knew I should have stayed with the
What
rest.
even is this stupid bomber?
advise you remain.
The bomber's just buggered off.
Ah, good job.
Unnecessary inhalation. After prison time.
Oh, there's 3 dudes.
Oh, Fuzzy.
I appear to have fallen upon hard times! Hate me!
There's another one. Oh, they're having fun. There's another one. Whee! It's like being on a carnival ride. You get thrown around and go flying.
Is over.
It's really fun. Seeing all of those. Seeing all of those mutants come flying around the corner is really funny. It's hilarious. Getting absolutely manhandled by a group of freaks.
I am called to judgment! Face judgment!
Get your hands off me, witch!
For the beneficent Emperor! Thank you.
Analysis. Less than optimal. We'll be separated.
I really have to remember to shoot those rages instead of smacking them.
Beneficent Emperor! This slaughter is my offering to you!
That's one hell of an offering. But it's one hell of a slaughter. Oh, Karnak Twin. Okay, let's go over here.
Who's this guy?
Off he goes.
Probably won't be able to kill them.
Sniper isn't here anymore.
You're looking for the block. Ironically enough, your target's using them as his bolt hole.
Bowl.
Problem with
Yeah, that's the way to do it.
Gangers are really true enough.
Kill the kill the mutants and the freaks before they get to you. Oh, I thought I killed him. That's not good.
Brethren, help is coming! Psycho! Get up!
Oh, fuck.
I am your doom!
That disabler needs to go. I need to reload.
The Psyker's faith was lacking.
The Psyker's faith was lacking. That's quite a way of saying they bit the dust. I do love this voice actor. This personality. So do we abhor the mutants as a thing, yeah?
A demon hold!
Careful for the demon host.
Beware, Gunner! For the golden throne!
I was gonna eat that no matter
A
what.
med station!
Reloaded!
There we go. Up you get. Oh god, that was brutal.
Templar, I am not your enemy!
Stop blocking my
Ranger!
Renegade
Flame holds no fear for me, heretic! Holy ammunition!
Quite cozy little place here.
Only those who have no so perish all fury!
I need to switch to I think I'm gonna switch to shotgun when I finish with this. Because while the revolver is good, it is a bit too limiting for things that aren't directly in front of you. So we'll see how well the slug shotgun does after this. Off I go. Oh, not into the demon host. Dog. Fire. Nets. Oh, it's a circus. That's two. I have no grenades.
Well.
I am by myself and I need to clutch. I'm not gonna clutch.
Should be an elevator close by. You want to be in it.
I'm not gonna make this.
I believe in him. best.
There are miles to go before we rest Templar.
Come on!
Beloved, shield us!
Wow.
Oh, it's gonna blow!
Help me rise!
Kill the gun.
Fucking Christ, excuse my language, that was absolutely... Ooh, that was terrifying. Oh, my hands are shaking. Okay, let's see if we can finish this mission. Ooh, fucking hell. Nope, I need to stay in here. Oh wow, okay. Okay, I think we need to chill for a second.
Headshots! Yes! What? A sniper! There is no forgiveness! Judgment has been delivered! Death to
What's around this corner? Some bad people, okay. Let's chill. Not even close, baby, let's go! That was slick, if I do say so myself. It absolutely was not slick. I was screaming like a little girl internally, but I did well. We made it. Ooh. I'm very proud of that. That's the first time I've ever... Well, it's not the first time. I think it's like the second or third time I've clutched in this game, but it was soppy, but it was done.
Get patched up!
Station
Medicate station!
initializing. I'll have it! Ready.
need ammo!
The Zella definitely needs commendation,
Of the
but I
realm
don't
of
think
chaos.
there even is a system.
Islands of evil, floating on a sea of
I wish I could get some commendation after that.
Real. No human mind could comprehend it.
Hey! I usually sleep like a baby during war jumps. Don't ruin it for me!
Oh, wow. Oh, he made him look like Salt Spire. That's quite funny. Salt Spire, Victor Salt Spire was a character in Vermintide. At least he kind of looks like him to me. Let's go. I think this is the boss battle now. We should be...
He doesn't feel like coming out.
Coward.
I'll pound you all to paste.
There's the sanction redaction card. Take him out.
Why did he pick the armor?
I have no track on it.
Listen to this music, though. Absolutely destroyed. Get wrecked, scrub, easy clap. Let's go. That was a fucking... Oh, no.
Not a lot of more.
It's okay, we did it. We did it. We managed. He just got sent.
job.
Oh, GG's.
We are chosen!
Oh wow.
I like how I'm the one who needs them.
Wow. That was crazy. I cannot believe I managed to do that. Ugh. My hands hurt from my hands hurt from sort of contorting myself to put up with that onslaught. Wow. Okay, I think that's gonna be it from me today. That's enough excitement for me for one night. Oh my goodness. I did not think I was gonna make it out of that alive. I did not have that under control. Wow. Oh, give me a second. Let me just... Give me 1 second. Let me just... Wow. Oh my god, that was way too much. That was way too much. God. Just the two... What was it? It was the two bulwarks, a dog, multiple berserkers, a bomber, a sniper. Wow. That was an ordeal. I am very surprised I managed to pull out of that. Holy hell. That was so good. I'm really proud of that. That's a really good way to end. God. The Emperor protects. The Emperor protects, and he protected me that day. Because nobody else was. I certainly couldn't. I'm very proud of myself for doing that. I think that's what makes that game. Being able to clutch like that, something we always try to do. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. That was amazing. Well, anyway, that's gonna be enough from me today. I had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun talking that much and trying to find ways to branch the trying to find ways to branch the conversation was it is really engaging. It's really interesting. I didn't think I'd be able to do it. I didn't think I would. But I do like it. Being able to put my thoughts out there somewhere. Really, to finding a way to file my thoughts in a way. Really enjoyable. I mean, there's sort of a thing to be said about sort of being a conversationalist. It's, I guess not really. It's just something. Yeah. Right now I am really tired, so I'm just sort of putting thoughts in my head, putting my thoughts out. It's strange, because
I never thought myself. I never thought I'd be doing this at some point, any point, like so soon. You imagine yourself doing it. And it's never what you think it is. What you think it's going to be. You know. But I enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun. It's really scary. Scary talking like this in front of people, potentially. But then talking to people in any capacity is never really easy, is it? Unless you have a talent for it. I wouldn't say I know what I have a talent for, but I think I did pretty well today. 3.5 hours, that's not bad at all. Well, I've seen people go for longer, but I have to get used to it. That's all. I do appreciate you coming here, even if it's just to watch me. Just even if it's just one. I suppose it is about consistency, yeah. It's important. Very important. Just be consistent. That's really it. The rest will follow. There's a good way of seeing it. I do appreciate that. I think that'll be it. Who are we going to raid? Because I'm going to make a habit of that too. Raiding people is important. There's my Twitch. Can I do that? How do you raid people? I have no idea who to raid. I do need to figure that out. Alright, well, I'll figure that out at some other point. Anyway, thanks for coming. Hope you enjoyed. Yeah, that's alright. You don't have to stay. Thanks for coming. Anyone else that might have come? Anyone? Have a wonderful night. You too. You too. I'm glad you enjoyed if you did. For anyone else as well, thank you for coming. Thank you for enjoying. I had a lot of fun. Hopefully I can do a lot more of these in the future. Maybe make something of it. Maybe make something of it. Anyway, thanks again. Have a good night.